When I was 2 years old, my parents got a divorce, and both of them went into same-sex relationships. They were very political activists. They joined the local board of directors of GLAAD. They took me with them when I was very young to gay clubs and bars and pride parades and events and campouts. I remember this one time I was marching this gay pride parade when I was very young, and at the end of the parade were all these Christians holding up signs saying, "God hates you, there's no room for you," and if that wasn't offensive enough, they were spraying water and urine over everyone at the same time. I looked at my mom and I said, "Mom, why are they acting like this?" And I will never forget her words. She said, "Caleb, they're Christians, and Christians hate gay people." And so I really grew up not liking Christians. I judged the whole community based on the extremists of those on the street corners. And I had some friends who were always trying to make me into a Christian. So one of them invited me to a Bible study, and I figured I'd go. My plan is very simple. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be a ninja Christian. I'm gonna pretend to be a Christian, learn about the Bible, and then dismantle their arguments for Christianity. And I kept on going. I wanted to prove Christianity wrong, but here's what I learned, that Jesus was not like the people on the street corners. That Jesus' life was actually proving my worldview wrong. And I also learned that Jesus had very deep theological convictions, but he also had very deep relationships with people who were not like him, and people who were marginalized and outcast and pushed aside not only by secular society, but also by religious society as well. And I gave my life to Christ eventually, and I wanted to become a Christian, and I decided to become a pastor pretty much all within the span of a week. And I remember telling my parents, I was a 16-year-old teenager coming out as a Christian to my 3 gay parents. They disowned me for a while. They kicked me out. They didn't want to have anything to do with me. The same frustration and the same treatment and the same extremism that they feared from the people on the street corners, they gave to me at the same time. I went to Bible college and I said, Lord, if you ever give me the chance to lead a church, I want a church filled with people who are broken, filled with people who are questioning their sexuality, with people who've had abortions, with people who are in gangs and homeless and cutting and clinically depressed, and people who have their finances out of whack and their marriages are destroyed, and people who have ruined relationships with their parents, because that's what the church is. The church is really a mosaic of broken lives that God has united together to glorify himself. Jesus Christ did not die on the cross for some little members-only country club that is really a Pharisee factory. I preached at a church for 3.5 years. Both of my parents, separate of one another, moved down to Dallas, Texas. And they both started attending the church that I was preaching at. These are the same people that would make fun of people on the radio station, and they started attending my church. And the people in my church were nicer to them than I was. And I just think to myself, that's incredible. And it's messy, and there's tension, and it's uncomfortable. And you know what? That's what faith is. Do they believe in Jesus? Yes. Are they saved? Yes. Are they in a same-sex relationship? No. Do they still struggle with same-sex attraction? Probably so, yes. Will they slip up sometimes? I don't know. It's not my job to resolve this tension between grace and truth. It's my job to love people well and point them to Jesus. Because Jesus is all about people. And when Jesus' grace intersects our messy lives, it looks like messy grace. But that's okay, because God loves messy people.